we're going to be learning about why we manage the shorebird population. We're going to be actually getting a chance to observe the piping plovers. The least terns haven't arrived yet. So we'll be talking about plover biology. We'll be finishing with the beach cleanup because we really got to get the beaches cleaned before the fences go up. We're going to be, it's like a 3-part training series. So we'll be doing today as an overview. Next Saturday, we're going to meet here to teach interested volunteers on how to install the symbolic fencing. It's just post and string. It's meant to, you know, not be a literal fence, just symbolic, to let people know they can't step in these sensitive nesting areas. That April 9th will be where we really get into plover behavior, especially for people who will be actually monitoring the plovers. So this entire area here is by the DEC designated site as Mattatuck Inlet. So we do monitor breakwater, and Scott Rosen was lead person for monitoring this difficult site. Lucy Cutler was helping with Bailey Beach. That was pretty much her site. So between the two sites, it can be difficult since the birds can actually fly back and forth. And the mud flats right in the creek here is a popular shorebird spot. So I don't know if you want to say anything.
Well, I was just going to say, I know Scott and Lucy are looking for lots of help.
That we manage this is to keep them protected. A lot of people still have no idea that the birds are there. They're very hard to spot, and you'll see that today. And the chicks can actually travel up to a half a mile away from where they hatched. So we do leave the symbolic fencing up even after they've hatched, because that's still a safe place for them to go to if there's any danger. So I'd like to just start walking out towards the beach, because a lot of this is easier to explain when we're actually out there.
No, I do a lot of wildlife photography.
We did that also.
But I love plover.
Can everybody hear me okay? So I want you to just imagine, just try to envision, if you look at this short section right here, it's in a natural state, right? This stretch right through here with a dune. Look beyond that and you see a row of houses right on the beach. There's miles and miles and miles of shoreline and suitable nesting areas for piping plovers. And then we started to develop the shoreline. We started building bulkheads and jetties and altering the coastline, developing right on the shoreline. And they need our help.
And there's one baby to the left. Oh, look. Go to the left. Oh, we just dropped.
Do you see? Oh, sorry, Scott. Do you see them?
Yeah, there's
Two of
two.
them. Two of them, I think.
Just
Yeah, one's right on the very crest, and one is kind of on this side of the crest.
Third in the distance.
Yeah, third. Yeah.
okay. I see three.
I see
Four.
three, too.
Actually four
I see
now.
another one in the foreground.
In the foreground.
Yeah.
I see four.
Four.
Yeah.
The stormwater raglan, which, I mean, we've had some storms that wash over the dune, but right now this would be a winter raglan, and hopefully they're going to be nesting on the upper portion of that, away from the water. We do have to bump the fence down enough that it gives plovers a chance to nest, but that also pedestrians can walk the beach at a high tide. We did have that Memorial Day storm, and it washed fences down and washed nests away. It does happen. That's one way that people can help is, you know, maybe they don't want to commit every week, but maybe they want to help when there's storm damage and we have to quickly put those fences back up. The rising frequency of the storm water going over. But there's a lot of people fishing the last 2 years. This is a very popular activity during COVID. This jetty was filled with people, both on this side of the channel and the other side. moving up and hiding into the dunes before I can even spot them. They see us before we see them. And you have to imagine a little tiny chick having to expend the energy to go from the shoreline back up to the dune, back out to the shoreline, back up to the dune. So the areas that have the most amount of traffic of people, fishermen, dogs, those birds it takes longer to build their body reserves and they fledge at a later date. That can be a problem because we get into the summer season, managing them early in the season and helping them be successful. The earlier people can have their eggs back by July 4th. I mean, that's piping plovers are not colony nesters, but they do have a tendency to nest near lease terns. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that lease terns are really great at defending their colony. And anyone who is might want a hard hat.
I think it's hysterical.
Maybe with a target on top of the hat, maybe. Here is a piping plover parent with 2 chicks. You can bring them over to them if you want. And the chicks, we call them cotton balls on toothpicks. They're tiny. Tiny, and this is actually their most critical stage of life. This is actually my goal is to try to keep people and dogs off the beach during this stage of their life. That first week is crucial because they don't run away if there's danger. They just squat down, and they are so well camouflaged you can't see them. I mean, I have a trained eye, and I've come upon one lost on a shoreline with a parent getting involved in some territorial dispute, and the baby just kept walking and piping, and yeah. So that's why people are like, oh my gosh, I can't commit, that many hours. That's why we're trying to find ways of people committing a few hours, maybe, per week, or maybe just a couple times during the season. We have to take down the fencing. So there's a lot of ways to just help out. I actually created a form so people get a good understanding. Maybe you want to be a dog walking advocate. The National Bark Ranger program, great program that I started using on the beaches here. It's really getting, instead of shunning them, especially these people that walk their dogs on the beaches 365 days a year, they become the eyes and ears of that beach. So you want to involve them and get them to be an advocate for these shorebirds, educate them, and then they can help other dog walkers. Because there's a lot of times it can be tricky because the dog walkers, they know why you're there and they don't want to hear what you have to say. So sometimes the dog walkers are easier. They have an easier time listening to another dog walker. If I look at my GPS, I bet you there is one nesting right near there. Can you guys spot it?
Yeah, well camouflaged.
I see the plover. So if you spotted where it landed, you just bring your binoculars up to your eyes and place it right
something like Shorebird to submit your?
We actually have a form. The EC puts out a form every year, noting the winds and the tides,
and all of that kind of stuff.
how many birds you saw. You'll be noting if there was a disturbance to your nest site that you see people walking through. If there's a presence of crows, if you hear crows flying by, you write it down. If you see fox tracks, you write that down.
And
There's
are you
actually
gonna talk about standardizing that, or is it self-explanatory on the form? And then where do we get the form to?
we would submit the form to you, and it comes from the DEC. So you'd get these PDF. They actually in the training they submit the PDF files necessary. There's also a training manual that you can download, print if you like. It's like, was it 161 pages?
Definitely.
Yes.
Billions of them?
I was actually at an orientation.
Nice.
I have it on recording the thunderous sound. Really? I'll take a film.
The bucket.
And then don't leave. I don't know if